Welcome to the Creative Plan Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews of items, and convention panels, and other exciting things that we run into from time to time. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kellie, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, welcome back to Creative Plan Podcast Network.
Woohoo!
It is hashtag RPGaDay 2018. Now the 5th year, this August, we're again asking tabletop role players everywhere to tweet, blog, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, and Facebook their hashtag RPGaDay answers to celebrate everything cool, memorable, and amazing about our hobby.
Woohoo!
And we got a couple new voices on, which will be nice. Some that we haven't heard in forever, Sandy. Even though you have a cult following in Scion still.
Oh, yes. Well, oh, yeah. Let me tell you. He kept pushing me to use my mind.
And then she scared everyone in the house.
I'm like, oh my freaking God!
Yeah.
She took it to a dark place.
He shouldn't have asked.
So, for August the 8th, the question is, how can we get more people playing?
Oh. That's a good question.
That's a good question, isn't it?
We should introduce ourselves.
We should. So go around the table and introduce yourself.
My name is Kellie, and I would say one of the best ways that I find is when the local game stores have, like, one-shots for new players to learn new systems. You know, like with the
game days?
Yeah. I think that really helps because people who are, like, want to try it but have never done it, they'll feel more comfortable, you know, and it's like not feel pressured to, like, oh, well, everybody's already in a group, you know. And if you have these one-shots or literally saying, hey, this is, you know, learning this in an introductory system, I think that will garner more new people than just going down to the game store, or, you know, because it's hard for, especially if you're new, to find a group, to find the nerve to, like, you know, jump in. It can be intimidating. So having that type of specifically geared event for new people will make them more comfortable.
That's a good one. So you heard that, game stores. Have more game days. Bribe more GMs to come run the game days for you.
Woohoo!
So, Sandy, you're next.
You have any suggestions to how to get more people to play?
Introduce yourself, and how would you recommend to get more people to play RPGs?
My name is Sandy, and I would have, like, a game night where you have a group of friends over, and you might invite somebody new, you know, so that it's, you know, not as intimidating. You're not out there in the public, so if you mess up, plus serve mucho drinks. Get them drunk. They're much less inhibited, unless they're not allowed to drink. They're too young. Then I would say,
top them up on candy. the illegal addiction.
Yeah,
sugar, the other way.
Yeah. No. I think, you know, doing it at home is less intimidating for some people, and, you know, then you can have fun in a safe setting.
That's a good one too.
Okay.
So invite a new person game night.
Right. Yes. A lot of have the same group all the time, but maybe invite somebody's child with them.
See, there's a
and
good
get
one.
them,
Start them early.
involved. Yeah,
Start 'em
them
young.
early. Start them early.
Start them early in RPGs and sugar.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mountain Dew.
Oh.
The gateway drug.
you ain't got any Mountain Dew. For those who've seen that movie.
That would be good.
Hey, also, it's
My turn?
D&D is good for learning math skills.
Yep.
Yes, that's true.
Yep.
That and
Yep, Evie,
Cards.
it's your turn.
Don't forget to introduce yourself.
I'm Evie. I'm Skyping in.
And Evie, you are a maker extraordinaire, a crafter, a steampunk.
Where can you be found online?
Where can I be found online? I can be found at steamsisters@zibbits.com is where we have our booth, where we sell stuff. I've just been changing stuff over and product over. Some things are on, some things are not, but it's always changing. I was really lucky that I get to start doing it by playing with a bunch of experienced gamers that are willing to train a newbie.
That's right, you were new.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very new to it.
Her
I'm
half
very
orc.
new to it. I'm still learning. I'm really lucky that I was brought in by some freaks. So maybe a good way to get new people involved in it is be open to having a new person for each adventure to teach them how to play and to help protect them while they're really young and new and level 1 and all that crap. kind of help shepherd them along. Bring people in.
Yeah.
I think if you bring 4 or 5 people into D&D, you should get a free toaster.
Oh,
There you go.
man. Jim,
I do like the idea of having game stores have an intro night. That's really good. And have if game stores have like a bulletin board of gamers that are looking for games to join or groups to join, that would also be good. I know my son's been having a really hard time finding a group to play with. And there's not a whole lot of game stores down near him in Oceanside. And he's been having a hard time finding people. And he was very upset that I'm Skyping into a game without him.
Aw.
Well,
I go, honey, we can only Skype one person in at a time. And you're in Oceanside, you'd have to Skype in 2.
Yeah.
There is this thing called Roll20. It's a virtual tabletop where Joclyne could wear her headphones and play. You could wear your headphones and play. Kellie could probably steal Sandy's computer and play. And we could actually play online.
I've heard about that one, about that particular game, of the online game.
Uh-huh.
And that it doesn't work quite the same. I know Shay plays on it.
I prefer to roll my dice.
I mean, the thing about Roll20 is I think it would be fun occasionally, but I would
For
still...
a dedicated game, it's better to have the interaction.
I still love our nights together when we drink and eat pizza.
The thing is a big part of the whole gaming thing is getting together with a bunch of friends.
Right.
It's the social aspect.
it's the social aspect.
That's a huge part of role-playing games, which
Yes.
makes them far superior to any MMORPG out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I play video games.
I have a needle.
Yeah.
Okay,
I have one
like
greasy
that.
hand and a soda in the other.
Okay, Skyping in to hang with my friends for an evening every couple weeks is the best.
Yeah.
Because it's a long-ass drive.
It is a
Yeah.
long drive.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a drive between Tucson and San Diego.
No, she's in
Oh,
She's
Burbank.
even further.
Yeah,
She's
Burbank.
even further.
Longer between Tucson and Burbank. So,
So if anyone from Oceanside is listening to this podcast episode, please shoot us your contact information. We'll pass you along to Evie's son. Boom.
yes.
Woo!
Like that.
Woo! Nice.
Now,
Which-
he doesn't particularly like 5th edition. He thinks it's too simple.
Oh.
Well, see, that's kind of what 5th edition was meant to be, though. It was more of a more fluid and generic D&D rather than 3.5, which was super specific.
Honestly, I think the 5.0, from talking with Robert, it makes sense because it's a good introductory one because a lot of the mathematics is done for you.
Yeah,
Also, it encourages role playing, which
Yes,
I think
which
is
I love.
rad.
because all the old versions don't have that inspiration idea, which is a great thing.
Yeah. Because that inspiration thing has saved my bacon a couple of times.
Ditto. Okay, so I
So,
guess me?
Your turn. Yeah.
All right. So, hey everybody, my name is Joclyne.
Hey,
And I'm a performer and costume maker outside of doing all this with the gang. You can find my work on the Patreon /Madame Askew. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Madame Askew. I perform all over the Southwest and into Canada. And
What will your next event be, Madam Askew?
oh my gosh. So up very next, we are doing an event in Bisbee, Arizona, a steampunk weekend invasion. And I believe I'll be hosting an afternoon tea in the mountains and reading tipsy. Well, I'll be reading tea leaves, but we'll all probably be inebriated
Well into our cups.
into our cups at the time. So that's fun, and that's coming up. And then immediately, well, not immediately after that, but in September, I go to the Grand Canadian Steampunk which is a fantastic steampunk convention in the Niagara-on-the-Lake, Fort George area. Yay!
Which that's gonna be
That's
awesome.
Mom's old stomping ground.
Yeah,
it's
yes,
beautiful.
yes,
It's
yeah.
beautiful out
Western
there.
New York and
She flies
Canada.
into Buffalo basically and crosses the border from
yeah,
And
very, very nice summers.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Even when they're having a heat wave.
even
Yeah.
when they're having a
Yes,
heat wave,
yeah.
which they were last year when I was there. So
It is beautiful up there.
knock on wood.
It is.
There's standing water. There's like water in this really big river that ends in a falls.
Yes, actual water in a river.
Year-round?
Woo!
Yeah, no, it's happening all the time.
And a big lake,
With the pond.
not just a pond, a lake.
A lake, and those waterfalls are pretty significant.
Yep.
So that's me, and of all of us tonight at the table, I'm definitely drinking the most rum.
Well, you don't have to drive.
I don't have to drive, and I've been working hard all day.
You've been ruffling,
I've been ruffling.
Might catch up to you, Joss.
Yeah, no, good.
and you're ruffling.
Yes. So I really like what everybody has said about getting new people engaged, welcoming new people. One of the things I think is so important, because I experienced the opposite of welcome when I first wanted to role play, is that people will tell you you can't for some reason. They're real gatekeepers in the negative sense of that.
Particularly if you have boobs.
Yes. So I think it's really important to embrace the idea of being a tour guide instead of a gatekeeper. I talk about that a lot when I'm discussing steampunk and welcoming new people to the steampunk community or any geekdom or fandom. I think it's important to have the information, the resources, the history, the culture, all of that information ready to share with a newcomer, but to do it in a way that's welcoming and not intimidating by saying, you should already know this before you can even be part of the community. How do you learn about a game or a fandom if you aren't welcomed into the community of space in which you can learn? So I try and be a tour guide. I feel really fortunate that all of my friends I've gotten to play with, to do D&D and other tabletop games as an adult, have been really welcoming to me and have, shown me the sights rather than telling me, how, since I didn't understand THACO, I couldn't possibly play D&D.
Nobody understands THACO.
I mean,
no matter what they said.
I've known some people who might understand THACO. They're also rocket scientists,
Yeah,
so...
a few mathematicians in that bunch.
Yeah, I may have dated some people who really love math. So I like to be the force of welcome in a group, and I think that's the biggest thing is when someone new asks you about playing with you, to not drive them away. It's one thing to say, my gosh, I'd love to have you play, but my group is really full, which is legit. I have played Dungeons and Dragons with a group of like 12 people at the table.
That's painful.
It took like an hour to do one round of combat. It was insanity. So never again on that. And poor Dungeon Master, my gosh, he was definitely not thrilled with that situation, and rightly so. It was really difficult. But outside of those scenarios where you just don't have room, then give people a chance to participate. And even when you don't have room in your group, there's a way to say no that isn't turning someone away because they're new.
Yeah. There's no, and then there's not right now.
There's no, and then there's I'd love to see you play. My group is full. Here are some resources.
In response to the gatekeepers and stuff, at the Renaissance Fair in Big Bear that I've been working for the last 4 weeks, and our last weekend is coming up, most of the players that I've been talking with and DMs are women. So
that's awesome.
That's a sign that the boys club thing is kind of ending. And
Which
It
that is a
is.
great
It is
thing.
starting
because
to.
you know what? We girls have some fantasy shit going on.
Well,
Hey,
I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on that, but yes, we do have some fantasy things going on.
all I gotta say is it's weird for me because I grew up having gals in my gaming groups. There was no division, but I understand with gaming with other groups and things how that can definitely happen. And Fiona is saying Happy Cat Day.
International
Cat Day.
Yep, International Cat Day. Hi.
Hello, Fiona.
Fiona.
And I this is Jim, by the way, and I agree with you. The best way to get new people in the game, especially as a GM who's now got 2 new campaign groups starting, because I threw a couple one shots that they immediately said, "So when are we gaming next?" And it's
Jim.
funny how that happens. But I would say to get new people in the hobby is actually invite them when they are curious. Take that 5 minutes to tell your group, "Hey guys, we got to stop. I got to talk to this person real quick who's interested but doesn't want to. They're scared, but they want to know. Know, because a lot of times at the game store when we do open gaming tables, like the Sunday Star Wars game, we always have somebody that pokes their head in, and we're like, immediately inviting them. No, ask questions. We can take a few minutes.
Remember when we had when we were doing our Saturday morning game at the mental ward? This
Tucson
guy
Games and
comes
Gadgets.
in, and it's like I'm meeting a group, like what? He'd never met them before, so it's like, yeah, you can sit down and watch us play.
Yep.
He actually then found his group
Later that day,
but instead of joining them, came back to watch our group because he thought we were so entertaining. And I'm like,
And then he started playing with us.
By having me play a non-player character.
Yeah, I mean, you can always throw that out there. Like with the Star Wars games I've been running some one-shots at the store with, I actually offered, if you want to sit down, you can play an NPC droid at the very least. You can blend in for one game and see how the game works. And definitely, even though this is about getting new people into it, try different gaming groups because not every gaming group is exactly the same.
no, you might be more comfortable with a
Right.
different one, but
It's like every fandom, try different things. And try different games because not every player is for every game.
And not every game is for every player.
That's true.
well, and
'Cause
plus
I like Scion much better than I did Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's an opinion. You are allowed to it.
No.
I
I like
Scion
the
a lot.
Scion.
You're talking to
one.
4 people that like Silent a
Yeah,
lot.
I love
yeah.
Scion.
I really enjoyed that one.
I'm a White Wolf girl. That's like my system that I love so much. So
Because
Wolf
it's a
made
great,
Scion.
it's that whole storyteller system.
Yeah, well,
'Cause-
I really enjoyed
hi,
that.
Fiona.
But I would definitely say invite people to play is a great way of, basically let people know that you're open to run games for them as a GM. I mean, it's work, but definitely be open to inviting new people to game because you never know what friends you're going to make for life. And you never know what new GMs you might actually invite to your table and they're like, I don't like playing, but I like running the game better.
right?
For more narrative control.
Well, and
Or the illusion of that, at least.
that speaks to how do you get new people, new GMs? And
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
Invite
that's the
people to
harder.
give it a try. And I think if you've been a player for a while, it's intimidating being a GM. But give it a try. Do a one shot.
Yeah.
I was really nervous the first time I agreed to be a GM. I was positive that everybody would judge me. Maybe they did, but they didn't say anything. And everybody had fun, so it worked out.
Yeah, pretty much every GM has that insecurity of, I don't want to suck. Or, my idea is not cool enough. Or, oh man, they're gonna judge
She's
every
very
time I
finicky,
fub a
so don't
rule.
be
But you know what? As a GM,
careful with
you
backwards
learn
roll.
to just not give a crap. and put on as good a game or a show as you can.
I
Well-
think as long as people are having fun
That's the important
is
thing.
what really matters.
And also, if you know that this person is a brand new GM, and you know what, and then they ask you for suggestions, be helpful. Give
Be
positive,
constructive.
feedback. Don't just say, "Well, I didn't like this."
Yeah.
Basically, be nice. We want to encourage more people to GM. I mean, that's
Give them that free dose of crap to start with.
Right?
Yeah. Character background is great for GMs.
And also, if you want to get new people playing, then you may have to take the chance on being a new GM to make a new group for your friends who are new to playing. Because there are limited groups, and there are limited GMs. So you may have to start your own group to introduce new people.
And pretty much in closing, I'll have to say, the best way to invite new players is to talk about gaming, to talk about how cool gaming is. Because when you tell people, hey, I game, all of a sudden you'll be at work with a game book on your desk and somebody will say, oh, you role play? And it's amazing the kind of friendships you can make, with coworkers and friends at school and things when they realize you play too. Because part of our hobby for a long time there during the whole Dark Ages was a very closeted basement thing because people were judged, as Evie has her player's handbook out.
Aww.
You got a player's handbook. Congratulations.
Oh my god, you got your first player's handbook.
It's a very special moment in a girl's life.
It is.
But you're right. There was a stigmatism of, attached to paper gaming.
Right.
It was like, oh, well, you'll be this
You're that
virgin
weird
that will
dorky.
never have a girlfriend for their entire life because they were all guys.
Yeah.
That's part of the stigma.
Even
it's
Stranger
like,
Things broke that stigma.
yeah,
They put a girl at the gaming table.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From a certain point of view.
But
Does not hurt to have a girl
yeah.
gamer.
So
in it.
now,
no.
Piece of media.
it's like and patience.
Yeah.
Patience
Always be
for-
patient with new
for
players.
people asking questions
Because we were all new at something once, and that's one thing I do know in a lot of gaming groups. A lot of folks don't have patience for the new person at the table. Always be patient with the new person because once they feel comfortable, you'll be amazed what a badass role player they can become.
Right? But if you're not patient, they'll just go on to another group.
Yeah.
Or they won't game anymore.
Yeah, and that's sad. If you break a
Yeah.
gamer's heart, that's a sad thing.
That's a sad.
Oh, there's a special hell for people who break gamers' hearts.
Yeah.
There's a special D4 that people who break those hearts step on and hurts them. Because D4s stab you to your soul.
Yes!
They're the
Soul, SOLE.
Yeah.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a good setup there. Alrighty, guys. So I hope that helps. We've all given you great ideas on how to invite new players. Also include, your boyfriends, girlfriends, kid sister, kid brother,
Grandparents.
Yeah.
your mother.
Your mother.
Yeah.
Your mother.
'Cause
could
somebody
be a
even-
badass role play.
Because in Ragnarok and Roll, someone even invited their mother to role play.
Yeah.
And she's one of the scariest characters on that boat.
Yes, she was.
We have to do more Scion. Just saying.
Yes.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
So that's gonna wrap up. How can we get more people playing for August the 8th?
Woohoo!
Dice buttons. Woohoo! Which they have sold.
That's awesome.
And the octopuses, I don't know why.
I mean,
Because they're cephalopods, and cephalopods make people happy.
Yes.
It's true. It's true. I have to make a custom tentacle for someone.
Oh,
specific colors, so I have to finish that up tomorrow.
nice.
Because you are super, super crafty with your custom buttons. That can be found
Well,
where?
I keep telling people, it's like, you work hard on putting together your costume for events, and then you put ordinary, boring buttons on there.
Yeah, Evie, why don't you give us the location of your online store?
Basically, if you go to www.zibbet.com/Steam Systems, STEAMSISTAS, you'll come up to our stuff, and after this weekend, I will be actually posting all these buttons. Octopus buttons, hopefully dragon buttons and medallions, dice, bolts, screws, gears, and tentacles,
Yay!
and dragon tails and mermaid tails.
Mermaid
Which-
tails.
Cool.
Yes. I've just been tooling my first ever mermaid tails to take with me up to Big Bear Renaissance Fair,
Nice.
California. This weekend coming up is the last weekend of the Big Bear Renaissance Fair. We do have a booth up there, and we're doing the kids' craft area. It's a very small fair. It's quite lovely, and it's about 20 degrees cooler up in the mountain than it is down here. So if you're in California, please come on up. Saturday and Sunday.
Big Bear, California.
Always a good.
Down in the depths of the mountain, we dwarves spend our time forging powerful weapons, mining precious gems and metals, and feasting like kings. But after a day of digging for the next Arkenstone, this dwarf likes to come home to a package full of loot. Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service forged specifically for RPG and tabletop gamers. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handcrafted items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. So are you brave enough to reward yourself with a Dungeon Crate? By Morden's beard, I hope so. DungeonCrate.com. Let the adventure begin.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.
So Evie, we have a question.
Okay.
Where can people buy your buttons online?
Do you have an Etsy store?
We've got a Zibbet store.
What's a Zibbet?
I've never heard of that. What is that?
It's like Etsy used to be before they started letting people who do like resale stuff and sell on Etsy.
So it's a crafter's
So it's
Etsy.
all makers.
It's all maker stuff. It's
What
stuff like that.
Have you guys considered Artfire?
What?
Artfire is like Etsy before Etsy became more commercial too.
I don't know. Renee looked at several different places before we just decided on this.
Okay.
So we do have a Zibbet store. I don't have pictures and stuff on there because my stuff has changed so rapidly.
Right.
But the buttons are going to be hitting there
Good.
after this Ren Fair.
Excellent. I'm a little drunk. This is gonna be super fun.
Now, are you recording this to play it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. We've been actually recording quite a bit. I'll have to edit that out. So, something I do want to let you guys all know. You guys know who Joe Magdalenio is, right?
No.
Alcide from True Blood.
Oh,
Oh,
hells
yes.
yeah.
And also from
Oh,
Magic
Magic Mike.
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 Oh,
He's
yeah, I know.
actually starting a company called Death Save. It's a geek
Oh
and
my
gamer
God!
clothing line. So if you do get a chance, by the way, he is in California, and his basement is apparently like the geek D&D player's mecca, where he got a bunch of really cool things like a giant beholder head, dragon heads in his basement.
Oh my god, that is so awesome. He's even hotter now.
I'm like, boy, he went from pretty hot to
fucking
hey.
sexy.
For the record, his highest level character,
Do you remember the TV show?
True Blood.
Alcide from True Blood.
I didn't watch True Blood.
Oh.
I read the books.
Well, look at
I
the
read the
picture. You've
books
seen him.
as well.
You've seen him and stuff.
Do you ever see Magic Mike?
Yeah.
I haven't
He
seen him.
is hot.
He is
Well,
hot.
apparently
Son of
his
Dancer.
current character and highest level character is a 5th edition Dragonborn Paladin.
Oh,
Nice.
So I thought that was
That's-
interesting. The little interview that came out there,
Wow.
adding more to the geek culture.
Excellent.
like Vin Diesel was
Okay,
so
if you're
much
talking about
sexier.
dragon heads and shit,
Yeah.
when you ladies are around here, you should go with me to Jennifer's house because you can see the dragon heads that they have.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we'd be down for visiting Jennifer's house.
I want pictures in that.
Possible.
So because they've got like bronzes and stuff that were ones that Rob sculpted himself.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love how we're all crafting while doing this.
Yes.
You weird crafters.
I have to. So.
Yeah.
It's witchcraft, I tell you. It's witchcraft.
Well, and yeah, I mean, we have to, too, Evie. But
Yeah.
time is of an essence, and it's been a long, hot, hard summer.
Yes, it has definitely been a hot summer.
So, Jim, you better start us out on
Yep.
introductions and a
Yes.
question.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Because otherwise, I think we're just
Gonna
gonna
keep going.
Okay.
chitty chatty.